Welcome to my podcast, Bravo Podcast. Once again, my name is Bravo, and I'm here to share an inspiring story. And this story is from Judith Asiimwe, a female entrepreneur who is doing an amazing work in her field, in her compound, in her own house. A story that she's yet to unveil to you, and I'm very sure that you're going to like it. As a woman out there, I shall always bring you women of valor, women of that kind of, motivation. Not just motivation or inspirational, but a woman or women who have been there, who are giving you the practical skills of becoming great as well. Whether you're a housewife, whether you're a working woman, whether you're a retired woman, but as long as you're a woman out there, and as long as you're a girl as well. When we talk about sometimes women, people think it's about those who are in the old age, but anyone who is a woman, a female. Thank you so much, and you're most welcome, Judith. It's a pleasure hosting you. It's a pleasure having you here in my podcast. And today we would want to hear about the story that is behind the great woman, Judith. Feel free to discuss with us. Feel free to let our viewers know who you are, and feel free to share that story that is behind the strong Judith.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. Greetings to you, the woman and the gentlemen that are watching this podcast. My name is Judith Asiimwe. I am an accountant by training. I am a mother, I am a wife, and I am a serial entrepreneur. I will do something that most women don't do. I am 40 years old. You will understand why I've said my age.
I hope you have not subtracted.
No. I was born in 1985.
Wonderful. She's
Yes.
the only woman among few women who don't subtract
No, I
their
don't.
years. Yes.
Unfortunately, I've always looked older than my age. So when I say I'm 40, they're like, oh, now you look younger.
Oh, sure. It's amazing.
So I'm an entrepreneur. I am a gardener. I am a chef. And I am a formulator. I am very happy to be on this podcast. And thank you for inviting me.
Great. The most interesting thing is that she is an accountant. I know there's so many accountants. I know one of my senior accountant is called Samuel Ibanda, a very great accountant out there, who is very passionate about, entrepreneurs, and he's done a lot of good work in the community as an accountant. When you give me this as your profession and then what you're doing, then I'll go in and ask, what inspired you to leave the accountancy or to leave that profession to going into entrepreneurship? Because most people want to die in their profession because they went to school and they paid the school fees. What inspired you to move on from your profession to what you're doing? Because I always call things of our hands are juakali. People always term them as juakali or the dirty jobs.
Yeah,
the dirty jobs.
Those weird names.
Yeah. So how did you move on from that and decided to go down and become an entrepreneur in your field?
Now, I think I became an entrepreneur before I became an accountant. I began working when I was 19 years of age, before I even joined university. That was in my senior vacation. So when I started working with an Indian man, they're all called Patel. I call mine Mr. Patel.
Yeah.
I used to do stock taking in his business. I'm a senior 6 vaquist. I have never done stock taking, but when my father introduced me to him, he was a customer to my father. He had brought me in to clean, but I told him I had finished senior 6. So he's like, so you can do stock taking. I'm like, I don't know what stock taking is. So he takes me through, and I began doing stock taking for him. And while I was there, I realized that the 60,000 he was giving me was not sufficient enough to take care of me and to support, our homes back home, because I'm coming from a humble family, so I need to support. So I used to live on Entebbe Road in Najana Kumbi. That's where we grew up from. So I would go through Owino sometimes when I'm walking back home from town because I was working in Nakasero. And I would see these nice tops. So I buy 3 and then I feel home. I reach home, I'm feeling so guilty. I'm like, how can I buy 3 tops for myself? So I reach office the following morning. I talked to a colleague. I'm like, I bought 3 tops in Owino. Do you mind seeing them? She saw them and bought 2. I remained with 1. From that day, whenever I would get my salary, I would take off 10,000, go to Owino, pick some few items because they'll sell them 500, 1,000, bring them back to office and sell. So before I knew it, I was going to Owino, Subula, bring back to office and sell. For me, I became an entrepreneur before I joined accounting. So when I began working, I'm lucky to get a job in an organization in Molago. I continued with my business. I was going to Owino in the morning, like at 4 a.m. At 6, I'm at office. And all the doctors, the nurses would like my products. So I enrolled to go and read accounting. So for me, I did not leave my accounting to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I probably did them both. I actually did them both.
Now, I know there are so many people who despise jobs. We have our children, and these children have grown up in your family, and you feel that your children or your son, your daughter is high class and cannot do such kind of work. Remember, at 19, you're not qualified for anything. But 19 years can set you off to greater things. Remember, she comes in as a cleaner, but you see how somebody looks at her potential to do stock taking, to which you are not qualified. So
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after you went back to school, you went back to school after that?
Yes. So I will still talk about Mr. Patel. Unfortunately, I'm not sure to get in touch with him, but I keep hoping that one day he will see me and knows how grateful I am. So Mr. Patel still sees that I could do better. He was doing business for electric boards, like selling electric appliances. So we get a site in Molago, and he asks me to go there and do the stock, like the store manager. Yeah. So while in Molago, the building that was being constructed is the current infectious diseases institute. Yeah. So 2 months down the road, a gentleman who was with me comes and I stand up, greet him, introduce myself. I tell him, you see, I'm working for Mr. Patel, but I'm also looking for better opportunities because I want to go back to school. Then he's like, what can you do other than what you're doing right now? I'm like, I can. The gentleman tells me that when this project is done, I will talk to Mr. Patel. If he recommends you, do the job. So I go back to Mr. Patel and I tell him I would really want to, and I want to go back to school. And I know the money that you're paying me will not be able to help me go back to school. So he says, okay, so did you talk to the gentleman? I'm like, yes, I did without your permission, but I'm asking to replace him. So Mr. Patel calls him and tells him the project is ending this time. If you're able to take her up, no problem. He joined famous Infectious Diseases Institute 2005 before I clocked 20. From 60,000 shillings, I was paid 300,000. You know, wow. First. I went home. I had siblings. So I know some will watch this. Sam is the youngest brother. Yeah. So I tell Sam and Rachel that you're going to clean my shoes. I'm a lover of shoes, good shoes. You're going to clean my shoes and wash my feet. Then I'm going to buy for you. That time I think Rolex was the in thing for children. So I go and buy each one of them Rolex, and then my father comes back home and says, where have you put the money? I'm getting all. I wasn't telling him all this that was happening with me at work. So I buy them Rolex. I have my 300K. When I would get my salary of 60,000, meanwhile, I would introduce it to my father. Yeah. And he would give me mine. Because the other monies have to help with home. Yeah. So this time I'm giving him the 60K. I'm adding another 60K. I'm adding another 60, and I still have some money for myself. So that's how I joined IDI. When the gentleman saw me, I'm trying to recall his name. It's part of my Mr. Chuck. Mr. Chuck Wilson. Yeah. I remembered his name. He tells me, instead of you doing the cleaning, you are going to lead a team that does the cleaning. So this famous job I've always talked about when I was 19, I was heading cleaning. People who know me will see how agitated I get when I'm in a dirty place. This has come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So I was responsible of making sure the whole IDI building. Those of you who don't know IDI, it's a facility in Molago that is responsible for research, training, and treatment of HIV. And that time, 2005, 2006, HIV was at that place where you would see a patient and you're even scared of saying good morning. So you can imagine the place where we used to take care of them from.
Yeah.
Not very nice, but we had to clean it. So that is how I end up in IDI. That's how I end up raising school fees to go back to Maltech,
Yeah.
to study ATC, to study CPA, which I did not complete, but I'm about to complete. So I find myself in school, but because I was responsible for cleaning, but also for opening the building. They would open with a fingerprint.
Yeah.
So my father and my brothers would escort me from Najanankumbi to go take a taxi to town, because I would leave home at around 4.
Yeah.
I have to pass with my skirts and whatever, then come at 6, open the building.
Wow.
I did that from 2005 to 2007, where I got a promotion in IDI. So for me, some of these things are very personal and emotional. Yes.
This is amazing. You know how somebody starts a life as a cleaner, and here she is. What does this show us? It shows that you should never undermine any kind of work that we get, because we don't know at what point that your breakthrough will come. And starting at the age of 19, myself, I started at the age, the same years actually when I started my own work. I've realized that before 25, this is a critical time and very important time for us. And of course, without forgetting the family values. Because if your family didn't have those values of making sure you're a girl who has been brought up humble, not despising anything, and making sure that you are able to move. See, it's Mr. Patel, who is an Indian, and the white man as well, who brought you up because you had that character of seeking and making sure that you're able to go through. Even learn and at a young age. But I will tell you that we find families who really have put their children at a certain level of class.
Oh, yes.
And they forget that these children have to go through the gestation period, whether you accept it or not. Because you'll not go with your son in marriage. You'll not go into the job with them.
No.
I will tell you something interesting. One time I was doing interviews from a workplace and I was looking for, senior 6 leavers to come and work. And among these children we're interviewing, would ask him, how much do you want to earn? One of them says, no, if I cannot get 500,000 Uganda shillings, I will not be able to work. We said, are you sure? He said, yes. And many of these children say they cannot work because they are not paid enough. The money is too little for them. Then they feel that you're using them. I call it in quotes that you're using them.
That's their word.
But you forget that if I bring you in, I'm trying to see your potential. Probably I have somewhere I would want to fit someone, but I want you to go through the process.
Yes.
And I want to show you in the current times here in Uganda, it's very difficult now.
Extremely.
And this takes us to the children who never went to school, actually are getting more chances because they come in and they are planted in a humble way, like as you did, and they're able to thrive. I learn a lot from you because there's something the public has really how to pick. And I'm very humbled that you're able to share genuinely. Guys, and for information, we're doing our podcast at Naria Motel. Most of you may not know where Naria Motel is. As you're sloping down from up Naria and you're sloping down to Quality, there's a very nice place, Naria Motel. And the person we're talking to, she's also part of Naria Motel, and this is her place. And you're going to be seeing a lot of amazing things out of her. And we hope that you're going to be inspired. Thank you. So tell us now, you go to school, you start at Maltech, you do your work, and then you're out of that school. Let's say that you're out of that. Did you continue working at IDI?
Yes, I continued working at IDI until about 2009, when I felt I needed to try out my experience in a different sector altogether. And then I also learned that when you have worked in an organization for long, you become like a child.
Yeah.
Then your managers, everyone above you protects you as their own, which is a good thing. But also, me being me, I felt like I wanted to try out things on my own. I wanted to know how it feels for the board to come, hard on you. Why didn't these results come through? And I also felt that for the almost from 2004 to 2009, I felt I needed to try out another setting of work. So what do? I began applying for jobs. One, I had been applying for jobs and nothing was really coming through. So I was like, why don't I keep applying for these jobs? Maybe one day I'll get an opportunity. I also had a friend who had applied for a job in the government, not knowing anyone, and she got the job. So she kept on telling me, even in the NGO world, you can still apply and get the job. And I see this advert in the newspapers. They were looking for an administrative assistant in an entrepreneurial setup of the youth. It was actually strengthening youth in northern Uganda and part of the central and a technoserve. So I applied for this job. I did not know anyone in this organization, and I get this job on pure merit. Yeah. And the gentleman who interviewed me, who was the director then, said that after I had gotten the job, so I wanted to really know what is it, because in my understanding, I felt like my qualifications were not big enough for me to get that job. And then it was an international organization. And then I'm not coming in as a cleaner. I'm coming in at another level. So I wanted to know what is it about me that made him pick me of all the interviewees that they had. And he told me that it was your way of answering questions that was very real, and then you're relating to the real things that the youth are dealing with. Yeah. So he gives me the job. I work for TechnoServe. I was still a lady. I wasn't yet a woman. Yeah. So I worked for TechnoServe for almost 3 years. And that's when I get into, a relationship, and I get my daughter. While I'm at TechnoServe, I'm waking up in the morning. My clothes are still going on meanwhile. Yeah. I'm even thinking of getting a van and label it. I used to have a lot of energy, I think. My first company I registered in 2000 and it was 2009. Yeah. Was called Energias Investment. Energias meaning energy. Yeah. So I registered that organization. I did even a few businesses with it. So I go into having a child. So when I go into having a child, the me in me, I'm like, I want to. There was that fear that we used to have of having your kid, you leaving them at home for when they're only 1 month to go back to job. So I had accumulated my leave for that. And unfortunately, when I was about 7 months, I lost the job. Yeah. But the me in me still tells me, there's no way you can. You have your clothes. Yeah. I had begun packing fruits for office. I would make my very nice rice and peas, maybe chicken, whatever, pack in small packs, reach office, sell to my colleagues. Yeah. Because I'm like, you're taking food to a neighbor at 7K. Why can't I give it to you at 5K? Wow. And my food became popular. Those who would not buy and they come to test on mine, I would put in a lot of chili. And they're like, Judith, today you've put a lot of chili. Yeah. So I would know that in the evening, I have 10 plates of fruits to go with to office in the morning. I'll have maybe 3 plates of food. The same food I'm eating. So basically, they're buying for me my lunch, but they have no idea. So now in my head, I'm like, how am I going to keep supplying this while I am away? So I know the food business is off, so I concentrate on my growth. I still had my customers in IDI, and those that had moved in other offices would recommend me to other people. So when I go home and I concentrate on having my baby, I give myself a year off. I had my savings. So I'm like, what am I now going to do? I had told myself I'm not going back to being employed. My mother is... One day you should do a program of us hosting our mother's stories, yes, if they allow. Yeah, sure. Some of these traits, I think I picked them from my parents. I have not known them for being employed anywhere in my 40 years of existence. So my mother has a shop downtown Kisenyi. She's doing obro, maize, sorghum. There's that sorghum for Bachiga. Yeah. I am a Mchiga. It's called called what? It's called what? I've forgotten the name. Ente ezo konke y'abachiga. Hari ente z'abanyankole n'iy'abachiga. So my mother was dealing in that. She still does small scale. So she has this store, and because now I was not working, I have a lot of time to talk to her. Like, Mom, how do you do this business? But you also see that she's progressing from one level to another. My younger siblings are in university. She's paying home is okay, go back home to a nice meal. But she's always dirty with sorry to speak my language. So I keep on asking her, going to visit her. I'm seeing how she's doing this business. It's not bad. So I have my saving. My daughter is 10 months old. I'm like, what am I doing at home? I go to Kiseni. Bravo, there's a time when I was a Muslim. You don't know.
Yeah.
Because when you reach in a community, you have to behave like them. So
Yeah.
when I reach there, of course, people will tell, this person speaks English. Isn't she a spy? Kiseni is a place of its own.
Yes. So you had to
So
make
I
sure you live
reached
to the
that
level.
store. Yes, I reached that store. I tell Mom, let's share this business. Okay, not share, but can I co-rent in your space? So she allows me. Being the me in me, of course, the food was a bit difficult, so I get a place where to make my own food in my own office. I want to set as an office, but in Kisenyi. I began trading in sorghum, millet, maize, those things, picking them from northern Uganda, making porridge, and I began getting clients. I would even take to Nachuogo, wherever. Esano. So it sustains me for almost 2 years. But I feel like my calling has been, I'm not yet there where I want to be. So after 2 years, of course, there's so very many financial challenges, relationship-wise. So I'm like, what do I do now? I take a humble pie and tell myself, you need to go back to employment. Because now, the capital you have, you cannot go where you want to go and bring a trail of sorghum and whatever. And bank loans were always my fear because I had not had very good experiences with them. So I take a humble pie, I meet a lady. That was 2017. I meet a lady in a certain office where I had gone to look for business. And I asked her, are there any job opportunities and so on? So this is what I can do. It's like, no, maybe I'll connect you to a friend of mine who would want a personal assistant. So she tries, and the money that she was offering could not even pay for my rent and transport. So I turn it down. So after a few weeks, she calls me. She's like, Judy, can you manage a restaurant? My reaction that day, I have what I call a lucky shot. I should have put it on today. I'm like, Madam Lillian, yes, I can. And I'm at that place where you're not very sure of the next meal. But it's so interesting that when I say these stories, even when my family sees them, they're like, but I didn't know you're going through a hard time. I'm like, you wouldn't have known. Because that pride in me would not let you know that I'm struggling that much. So I go and begin working for a restaurant in Bugolobi. I am not sure if she would like me to say the name, but I will tell it to you off camera.
You could go ahead. Why not?
It's called Teranga. Teranga restaurant in Bugolobi. It's on Bandari Rise.
It's still there up now?
It is still there. Very beautiful. Most of the skills I have here, I got from there.
Terang restaurant.
Restaurant in Bugolobi. So I work for Terang. I go in there as a salesperson. The first day I was there, I got a deal from an international school. I think it was about 13 million for them. So I sit in there. I'm like, I'm visualizing my dream. I want the plants, I want the food, I want the beauty. It is that beautiful a place. So I worked for her for almost 2 years. While there, remember I want my fruits and food back somewhere. But also now I am stable in a good relationship, and my partner is like, we can't keep being worried of, Mommy, where is money for me today? And I also don't want to be in this situation where if I've not left St. Sakameza because I don't have, it becomes a problem at home. So we agree that we need a business that is going to take care of our daily income, but also allow each one of us to flourish in their passion. And now we have already found out that for you, Judith, you love your food, you love your plants. For him, he is into tour and travel and all this. So we begin collecting saucepans. When I get some money, I buy some saucepans to keep it in a small house, some plates to keep in a small house. So I also find that I had an opportunity to learn the real cooking, the real hotel cooking at a place where I was working. But also the place had a challenge of, like most businesses in food, costing. So you would find that there's a requisition of 6 million shillings of so much things for the kitchen, and then the revenues that are coming out of there
Less.
are 4 million, and then even the stock is not there. So I was tasked to find out why is this happening. I didn't have an answer. So one day, from nowhere, I'm going to pick lunch from the kitchen. I'm like, I mean it. I stand there and I see like 3 tomatoes being wasted, like the orange, like the pineapple peels. Pineapple peels make very nice juice. They are peeled, but peeled in this way where there's no kekereza. They are thrown, and then I don't know how to say it to the chef. I'm not sure it's the right thing, so I begin my research. How do you make juice? How many tomatoes do you need to make a very nice meal, maybe like chicken? So I realized there was a lot of wastage in the kitchen. And then now when the requisition of 6 million would come, I would work with the shopping guy to buy things of 4 million, but don't see. Then we see if there will be enough or not. You know what was shocking? There would be enough. But the other person would not know that they asked for tomatoes of 50K and we bought of 30K. We would insist we bought of 50K. You understand? And then I began volunteering myself to the chef. Can I help with, if I'm not busy in my office, can I help with cutting the onions? Can we dish the food together? I learned how to cook what you call continental dishes. From that.
Right from there.
Yes. So as that is going on, we are growing, COVID hits. Before COVID hits, every Sunday, because I'll take off my day on Sunday, I cook my luombo, post on my phone. My friends who are staying nearby, you send maybe a meal or two. How was my food? Give me feedback. And the food would be nice. So when COVID hits, I tell my partner that I'm not going back to looking for work. We must start our dream. So I begin cooking from home, sending food to whoever was ordering. I do my cushions, most of the runners you see here, whatever, those ornamental things, I was doing them. And we birth a business. When we birth a business, it is so empty. We can't afford decoration. But from my former workplace, I had known where plants are bought, how they are taken care of, how do you put them to look beautiful. So I begin with my pieces at home. I bring them to our business, and they are beautiful. Shockingly, people are buying them. The money hunger in me is like, you can make money here. So I begin collecting pots, learning from other people, knowing how do I add value to, because there's so many plants on the road. You see so them, many. But what will make someone buy mine at an extra cost of 10K? So I chose to go into plant deco. That is how you see most of these plants here. So while doing plant deco, I also start doing herbs, the mint, the rosemary. The overgrown, no one is buying. I get depressed. No one is buying my things. You can't eat them all. There are too many.
But you see, this is during COVID.
This is during, because your COVID was almost 2-3 years. So no one is buying them. And then we get a health challenge with my girl. She has told me not to always share this story without her consent. I didn't ask it, but we get a health challenge.
How old is she? How old is she?
She's 11. She reported to school on Sunday. You should have met her. She's your customer meanwhile.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
So she gets a health challenge. We try all we could, and we find the solution in herbal medicine. So I see these plants. I go on YouTube. I respect the internet. What other things can I use for rosemary? What other things can I use for mint? I see all this herbalism, all this infusion. There's so much out there. I sit down. I'm Rotarian. So I call my president then. Tell him, when I have an idea. I've talked to my partner, but he's like, Chef J, you're crazy. You want to do everything. And I have had that challenge, people thinking, and I no longer deny. Yes, I am doing everything. So my point here is, can I do it perfectly? Inspire someone out there? Do 1, 2, 3 things. But also I don't want to be worried of one source of income. So I call Maureen, I tell her, I have an idea. This and this is happening. I don't know where to put these herbs, but I have formulated a hair cream, which I gave her, and she tried on her hair and personalized it. I want to come up with soft gel oils. These are the products you see in there. People depend on pharmacy medicine. I'm not saying anything bad about pharmacy medicine. But if I can find treatment for my headache naturally, I will not
The
take
better.
Panadol. Yes,
Yes.
I will not take Panadol. And these herbs are there. So I'm like, how do I put them together for this woman, for this child, for this man, to make them affordable, quick to access, and use it? So I go into my shop. It's very small, but I make sure I put this together. So I have body oils. I have teeth brightener. I don't know if I have smile and you've seen my teeth. I have hair oils, all from the same things we eat, but
Yeah.
sometimes throw away,
Yeah.
because all these herbs are in our kitchen. But you'll have the herb that will even go rancid on your shelf because you have nothing to do. But you're running to buy
Yeah.
every day. You're running to buy, an inhaler for a child, but there are herbs that can help with this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a doctor. I'm not saying I am going to replace medicine,
Yeah.
but I'm saying Chef Teos is trying to find alternatives.
Yes.
If we woke up in the morning and we didn't have this medicine on the shelves, would we die?
No.
No. So that's how I come up with Chefte oils. That's how my plants grow. I have just finished a project on Chira Lugogo bypass of installing plants. And for me, this entrepreneurial journey is who I am.
Yeah.
This journey is a decision that you wake up in the morning and make. Not even your lovely partner who loves you very much, or your parents or your siblings are going to do it for you.
Yeah.
You will reach a time and everyone will think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone will think you're overworking too hard. Oh, this is not going to work. But at the bottom of yourself, what do you believe that this is going to work?
Yeah.
It is so interesting that people will come around.
When you're successful.
I am not yet successful.
When you
I am beginning to see the light.
Yes.
And now I am very sure, because I know if I say I'm not going to buy body oil
Yeah.
for a whole year, for me, my family, and my friends,
Yeah.
I will
Already.
simply produce it.
Yeah.
And it is now working.
Yeah.
So I appreciate their doubts. It's also not easy
It's
to
very
see someone who is putting things together and you're like, you didn't even study this. I've
Yeah.
got that question quite a
especially
lot.
when you're in data jobs. We call it the
Yes.
data jobs. There's how people name our kinds of work. Okay, me myself, of course, I tell people I'm a hawker. I've been a hawker, and I'm a hawker. I hawk shoes, And then at one point, a friend of mine, told me, "How do you keep in a shop and just wait for a customer, one, two, like that? How do you manage and how do you survive?" And after some years, I met them. I say, "What are you doing?" They say, "I'm here. I'm doing nothing." I said, "Okay, now why didn't you wait for that one customer and keep polishing your business? Today you'd be fine." Because they used to have a business as well, but they said it was boring and they felt it's too cheap for the whole of them to keep in the shop and wait for one client.
The whole of them.
So this is very interesting, and we have a lot of lessons to learn out of this. And our viewers, I would suggest that to prove this, come to this place just to see. You're allowed to come in, see as a woman out there. You may be a house mother as well. Come in, get your day and drive around or walk and just come in here to see. We are, she allows anybody to come and learn. I also tell people, it's good to copy. Come and copy her.
Yes.
Copying is good. But what matters? How do you sustain that copy? It's like when you look at somebody very smart and they look, I want to copy her smartness, but are you ready to sustain the smartness? Because when you're smart, you don't step anyhow. You don't walk anyhow. You don't
just sit anyhow.
You can copy anything, guys. You can copy. I am Bravo. Say Bravo shoes, You can copy my business. It's okay. But are you ready to go through the gestation period?
Exactly.
So most people don't or are not patient to go through the gestation period for this business or anything they do. And should you be ready to go through the gestation period, you can be greater than even us.
Yes.
The issue is be great in what fields you're in. There's a lot of demand of plants. Maybe she cannot supply everything. There are demands of shoes. Maybe I can't supply. Get in, but make sure that you're able to go through the gestation period and then enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Another thing I always tell people, I say, give time. If you
Time
cannot
needs
give
job.
time, then your levels of success or the percentage of success in your life is not there. Most people, in 1 year, they have done 10 jobs. None they have mastered, which is another problem as well.
Yes,
So,
yes,
so it's a process, guys. It's a process, and I am sure that there's nobody who is unfortunate. We're all born with this capacity. It's how we choose to put the potentials we have within us to task or to work out there.
True.
About the formulation, where do you see yourself in this journey, especially when you want to solve that problem of, of natural things? Because when you talked about the toothpaste, most people do not know that there's so many things, as you said, of making their teeth proper. They would choose to go and buy because some of the products have been advertised in a good way. But we have things in our houses. Where do you see the brand in the next 10 years? What would be your vision? Yes, you're 40 years. You still have, I'll give you a few years. I don't want you to live longer. You can have more 50 years.
More 50 years.
Yeah, because when you live longer, you're going to become a liability to people. You're aware. So a liability to yourself. Let's give you 50 years. So that at 90 you can check out if you're there. In the next 50 years, how do you see this brand? And how do you envision yourself there? That you are an old woman there and you're enjoying your brand, thriving.
Jeffrey Oil is about to make 3 years.
Yeah.
I can assure you that it is, I think from last year around November, that I was able to even get packaging. So in the next 3 years, I am hoping that I will be fully certified, because certification is also a process. In the next 3 years, everybody I know, if my phone contact has 1,000 people, at least all of them must have bought at least one product from me. I have deliberately chosen to involve my children so that this does not end with me. They know where we have started from. Not only my children, but everyone who is now going through my hands. Is it an employee? Is it a relative? I'm trying to show them that you could still be a young entrepreneur and produce your own. It can be anything. It can be a tea, and you brand it and you make money out of it. So in the next 10 years, I'm hoping that we'll have our own home as Jeffrey Oils. We will be able to compete favorably with most of the brands that I've seen in the market, and we will still be crazy in inventing new things.
Wow. The power of entrepreneurship, guys. This is a story, and a real story. If you're out there, I would want to ask you one question.
Yes, please.
There must be a woman out there watching you. And this woman has been trying to find out her purpose. Oh, she wants to do something. She has a big place. She's a house mother. She doesn't work. Or she's in an office. She's planning to retire. Or she wants to leave. If any of us is watching out there and this woman wants to contact you, I know, of course, at a fee, guys. She will put up a consultation fees.
Very affordable, though.
Very affordable. But in this case, to her or to us entrepreneurs, I'm doing this because I'm an entrepreneur. And I started this to bring out the real stories of our entrepreneurs. For us, we put money as secondary. The primary mission is to make sure that we can support other entrepreneurs in our communities and the world over. I know people are watching from Nigeria. Somebody can be watching from Ghana, from USA, from Canada, not only Ugandans. And there's someone who's out there that could want to really consult her online or even physical. Are you able to give people time? I know you have your fees, which is okay. She could choose to nurture you, and you could physically contact and come here, and she takes you through. Let me advise you again. Good entrepreneurs actually do not hide information. A good entrepreneur will even touch you and show you how she does her products. Go and do them. Because you may not supply the whole market on a product.
You can't. That's
She
the truth.
is here. And all entrepreneurs I always show you guys on my podcast. Just know we are very open-minded. We give free consultation. We want other people also to thrive. Even if somebody says, I'm going to charge you for this consultation. But remember, money is secondary as entrepreneurs. And every person that I'll be hosting on my podcast, we want to give back to the communities. And if you have a child, a son, a daughter, and she's also passionate, she wants to learn, please, instead of paying for expensive education, pay some money to such practical people that can take them through, and then they get that knowledge at a young age and they thrive as well. Would you do that? Would you be able to give us time?
Yes. Interestingly, I could count on my fingertips the people have actually charged money. I am very, very much driven by a yearning from someone to learn. And well, entrepreneurs, yes, we need the money to move. At the end of the day, the pride I realize, knowing that my word or my meeting changed another woman, is I cannot put it in terms of money. It's very rewarding. So for a woman out there, I did not wake up at 19 and I knew what I wanted to be. Actually, the reason I wanted to be an accountant, I have not shared, is because of an uncle of mine. I don't know if my auntie knows, a husband to my auntie, who was a bank manager, and he was always smart. He is the first person whose home I visited, and there was a library, and there were very nice books for reading. I used to read literature at O level. And when I found out that he was a bank manager, for me, that's what I wanted to become. And I asked him how to become a bank manager, and he told me you have to become an accountant. So that was the reason why
you became an accountant.
I became an accountant. I did not know what I wanted to become until so many years in life and so many mistakes. I need. I even have my questions that I needed. I thought I would want to do that. But I did it and I realized, oh, this is not what I want to do. So one, you can't sit there and say, I want to do this because I'm not sure this is what I want to be. What if it's actually what you want to be? Secondly, surround yourself with the right people. If you want to go there, you cannot begin surrounding yourself with people who are going the opposite direction. Entrepreneurs are there to guide, but we also we don't want to feel like we are wasting our time on a dead end. If I realize that you're a serious person and you want to do this, and you probably cannot even afford it, but you want to do it. And you wanting to do it is not by simply saying it to me. I will see indicators that you actually want, but you lack the knowledge, because the disadvantage some of us had was that you had to try and error until you master. But here we are saying that we have done the mistakes, we have made the losses. We are trying to see that. Come and consult, come and learn. And not everything is for charging money. You coming by and testing our tea, for example, you will ask, oh, what is in this tea? You've known it is rosemary. You have it in your home. You've known it is cinnamon. You have it in your home. You paid money for it. So at the end of the day, fellow woman, I'll say this in Uganda. You interpret it for your local, for your international audience. Sente z'omukyala ziwomba. However small, the moment you pick your 10K and you do your hair and you do your nails, there is a satisfaction you derive that no one can give you. Wow. So being an entrepreneur, one, you're satisfying yourself as a woman. Two, you're leading by example for your children. Three, you are creating a legacy. So being married is a good thing, but it's not an introduction. It's not an introduction. No, it's not part of success. It's not who you are. It's not who you are, okay? So who you are is that you've been able to birth. Of course, the children, yes, but But children do not define your success.
Yeah.
But what is it that you have done that has made a difference in your life?
Yeah.
It's entrepreneurship. And I'm not saying that when you're employed, you are doing nothing. But at the end of the day, have you seen 60-year-olds who are panicking and they don't want to leave office? With all due respect, sirs and ladies, you cannot begin something at 60. In most cases, it is going not to work because you're not showing up in a suit. And here we are at 60 telling you, guy, you can't afford one. And we are telling you at 60, you've got to let that car go.
Yeah.
But at 40, at 35,
at even 50, even at 65, because when you look at Colonel Sanders of KFC, he started at the age of 65.
He did not start then.
But you see, he had retired, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you see, he undressed himself. You see, I say you can start at an age, but are you ready to undress yourself from that suit, from that necktie, from that pride of a Land Cruiser, of that motor, big car, okay, of that Mercedes? Are you ready to go to Kentucky on the streets, let's say, of Kampala, and start selling chicken? You see, it all begins on how you undress yourself.
True. But you also realize from some of these successful stories of people who begin at that age, when you listen to their stories properly, his recipe did not start then.
Maybe starting in a small kitchen.
And made those mistakes and burnt themselves. Then at this age where now they have accumulated the capital, they roll up. They undress. You get. So if you have a chance of doing it now,
do it.
However small, even if I have seen a gentleman who supplies me plants, and I kept on telling him, I'm looking for paspalam. I can't find it. When I went back to his place and I found that he had done it somewhere, I was so excited, as if I'd given him the money too. I'm like, I'm so happy you listened. Because at the end of the day, if you're an entrepreneur, there is a process you must go through.
It must be.
Whether you like it or not.
The process
and
of failure.
You don't, you will fail at that level where you cannot take failure anymore. So start, learn from people who have already made their mistakes. And knowledge is knowledge.
And be open.
Exactly. And honest about it. Be honest about it. And I always tell people, even in my other interviews, it is okay to start small. I can assure you that when I started Chef J Oils, I was looking for money. Thank God I did not get it. Because the products I poured, by now I would be somewhere in prison and everything would have died. So because I was constrained by money, that's how I even learned that, I don't need to go to Nigeria to look for some, Eden fruit. Eden fruit is a herb. I don't need to go where I am seeing all these things. These things are actually back in the village.
Yeah, so many.
My mother has 2 moringa trees. Moringa is magic. It's a magic plant. So it helped me to think outside the box because I was constrained by finances. But that also taught me that I can source for whatever I want by myself in the nearest communities around. What am I doing? I am building my brand, but I'm also telling this woman in the village that you see those orange leaves that you're throwing away. Do you realize they make a very nice powder that someone will drink in their office for the next 3 months without necessarily owning a tree in their compound?
True.
You get it? So some of these things, you will see them at a distance, but if you socialize yourself with people who actually do them, the story is different.
Wow. It's amazing. She used a local language somewhere in Uganda where she says, esente y'omukazi enyuma. That every woman who has some little money in her pocket, you become proud because it's your money that you have made. And I've always also told the ladies out there that when you have 10,000 and somebody gives you 10, it's an addition.
It's 20.
But when you have already had your own, and strong women will always have something in their pocket. It doesn't mean when you don't have, you're not. But you can think about having it. Means that you'll not become a beggar all the time. And we all have the capacity. The women have the capacity. Actually, women are very hardworking these days. And I'm sure that you enjoy your success, women, and you can always add on. If somebody gives you, yes, it's okay. They can add on you as well. Guys, I am so impressed and I'm very, very happy that such an entrepreneur. If I was her, actually, I would just find out where Naria Motel is. I just go there, buy my coffee, go there, eat even buy a plant, or 2 or 3, and buy her products. In the end, I'm getting knowledge from her. And then you can sit down on the table and say, I'm a customer. Tell me how you do this.
Exactly.
Which means you will not have paid the consultancy.
Mhm.
That's how they
That
do
is
it.
a smart way of doing
That's a
things.
smart way of
Yes.
doing. And again, I would also tell you guys as we speak about entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs have vision. Entrepreneurs are visionary. That's why they insist on doing something, even when they failed many times. The business people, you fail once, they dump it and go away. But an entrepreneur has a vision. A vision is all-inclusive. Desire is personal. And most of us, we start business because we have desires. When your desires are not met, you run away. But an entrepreneur looks at his vision, which is all-inclusive. Why don't you attach your vision to creating employment for others? Or getting food for your family? That's a bigger vision because it's not yours alone. And then money starts coming in. Again, entrepreneurship is a long journey. Some people think it is 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It can take you 20, 25 years. And as you hit your breeze point, 25 years ahead, you're the big shot in your country. For as long as you know it takes a long time, you keep on polishing. Because we have challenges that strike at any time. As long as you're insulated those challenges, you will thrive, definitely.
You will get through.
Yes. Otherwise, I would like to appreciate you, Judith. It's a pleasure hosting you, a big person like her, hosting her. In few words, I would like her to have her parting shots. Give us your parting shots to the woman out there. And guess what? When you talk about women, even the men who are watching, you have the woman in your house. Get that woman of yours and say, let's go and visit this place and learn you as a woman. Remember, a strong woman is supported by the husband. If you are the husband and you've seen this information, deliver it to your wife.
Yes.
And then also help her, support her in becoming a great woman out there. Give us your parting shots as we go away.
Okay. I've been warned to stop using this statement of the Muchiga in me, but
Yes.
sorry, I'll use it again. The Muchiga in me would like to call a spade a spade. You mentioned a point where not having money, it's if you're a woman and you don't have some money, it could be okay. Fellow woman, I want to tell you, and I'm going to look straight in the camera. You not having your money is not okay. Okay? Because even your husband will respect you in a certain way. I'm not saying they're not respecting you now, don't quote me wrong, but they will respect you in a certain way when he knows that if it is school fees time and I'm less by 20K, my wife is going to give it to me. Okay? And interestingly, by the way, men are very good people, more than us women. Every man wants to support a business, a woman who is doing something. It's not like you sit down and tell him, Mom, I need 100,000. Sometimes you don't even need to ask. He will see that with what you are doing, and they are willing to support. So a fellow woman out there, other than nurturing the children and wearing the nice hair and the nice nails and the nice dresses, can you wake up in the morning and do something for yourself? Because when you do, it's going to benefit your children, it's going to benefit your husband, it's going to benefit your relatives, everyone around you, but it is going to be so fulfilling for you. And then you will not feel that because my partner is away or something has happened, you are very scared of the next meal tomorrow. There is power in having your own financial freedom as a woman. And I also tell whoever listens that I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
A very different one.
Mm-hmm.
Very different one.
Yeah.
But I know that I couldn't be here without God. I cannot do anything without God.
Yeah.
Fellow woman, I know we pray a lot, we fast, we do all these things. You cannot serve God when you are poor.
Yeah.
You can't. They're like, whoever is telling you that you will serve God when you're poor, they are lying. For me, serving God is fulfilling part of my promises to my people, is to ensure that that girl has not been abused because she is looking for school fees. How do you support her without money? So for me to even serve my God, I must be able to make my own money and serve whoever I'm supposed to serve, from my children, from my husband, from my whoever is around me. So come and grow yourself first before you even think of growing that daughter of yours. My daughter asked me the other day, and I found out that she had asked the father, did you know what you wanted to be when you were my age?
Yeah.
And I honestly told her, no,
No.
I did not.
Yeah.
So how did you know what you wanted to be? I'm like, because my mother helped me.
Yeah.
So as a fellow woman, how are you helping your daughter to become something when you have not already become something for yourself? And I'm not saying you're nothing, but there is a way you're giving birth to something defines you more than, you know, than simply waking up and that's a tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be a tree that you choose to say, I'm going to nurture these trees. Your children are going to know you for that.
Yeah.
Okay? So take a humble pie, or you can choose not to be humble, but there are consequences,
Yeah.
and start on that journey. There are courses out there that help you even when you don't even know what you want to become. Okay? I know an academy that will help you, nurture you to even know that, oh, this is where my vision is. And you pursue that. Seek that knowledge. Knowledge is the power, knowledge is the money that you're looking for. But when you get that knowledge, don't keep it in the books, don't keep it on the phone. And this year, my year's prayer, God was, may you allow me to implement it.
Yeah.
So when you get that knowledge, put it into use. It does not help you not to put it into use.
Yeah.
And accept the journey, accept to get tired, accept to have sleepless nights. Yeah, accept to die a little bit. Business can try to kill you.
Yeah.
But when you know where you're going, the legs will die and the arms will still work. You will make it. I can't share everything on this podcast, but if you come to Naria Hotel in Naria on Beledile Road, my numbers are on Facebook. My account is Judy the Hot One. You can imagine how I used to feel hot at the age of 19, 20 when I opened that page.
Yeah.
Judy the Hot One and Abren Shekanabo. And then we have a page, Naria Motel, all on Facebook. We are on TikTok, Judith Establishments on TikTok. Come and learn. I share so much on those platforms because I'm a very shy person, but when I'm alone in camera, I say so much. But that's so much. Pick that works for you. That does not work for you, leave it aside. God bless you. Bravo, thank you for the invitation.
Pleasure.
If you want to learn, I have followed you for quite, and your consistency is very attractive. Every time I'm like, oh, there are these guys who ask me, why were you not consistent?
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And then I keep saying about my daughter. One day she will meet you. I would buy for her 2 pairs of shoes in a term.
Yeah.
The day we came and bought a shoe, she came back last time. The still okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for putting out that product that is unique to our Ugandan children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful that even you would think of the humble me while you want to call me a big woman, maybe in size, but of the humble me to really put me on this very educative program of yours.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it all, as you shared, being with knowledge and not sharing it is as good as having a very nice product and you don't market it.
Yeah.
So we want to share this information, but we also want to share it in a more organized setting, a targeted audience, so that it benefits them all. So thank you so much for putting this together.
Pleasure. I'm very humbled, guys. And she says she's a good Christian. And I'm a good Buddhist as well. I practice Buddhism.
Oh,
yeah, I am a Buddhist. I know so many people didn't know, others don't know, but I live a Buddhist life. I am a Buddhist myself. As a Christian, she says, I always tell Christians as well, Saba, Ora, Ora, Saba, means pray, work, pray. So pray to your God with wisdom and make sure you put to action your prayers. Once again, my name is Bravo. Don't forget to support Bravo Shoes. For all of you who have children that go to school, we are very humbled and we will be able to receive you. And for those, again, who don't know, I am a foot health practitioner. I handle foot challenges. Of course, we handle shoes for people living with diabetes as well. And I'm a very good consultant in foot, especially for those who have foot challenges. So thank you so much, guys. It's a pleasure, and we'll be always showing you and bringing you great stories, great information as we look forward to that entrepreneur. You may be there and say, I am not an entrepreneur. Guess what, guys? Everyone is an entrepreneur. If you're an accountant and you're a consultant, you have to sell your business. If you're a doctor and you want people in your hospital, you need to sell out your business as well. If you're no profession, if you're a lawyer, you need to have entrepreneurship skills. So you can be an entrepreneur in your own profession, because we all need that part of selling. Because we sell ourselves, we sell our brands, we sell our services, we sell everything that we do. So thank you so much, guys. It's a pleasure once again, and we'll see you next time.